My name is Ruben Camp. I've been doing this for 14 years. I'm a dental specific IT person and CEO and founder of Dark Horse Tech. So we work with a lot of practices that are going through hardware replacement cycles, right? The really common scenario is, hey, Rube, I got to replace my server. Is it time to go to the cloud right now? So those conversations are ones we're having with our clients every single day because we were looking at a bill, maybe $8,000 for a server, or do we pull the trigger and never have to buy a server again, but have to go through a migration to a completely different practice management software, a completely different cloud, 3D, all the things that go along with that? Those are decisions we help our clients with every single day. The main difference between a cloud-based and a traditional on-prem system is a location of the server. Now, when people think cloud, it's almost like they delete the concept of a server from their mind. Cloud just means that server is not physically located in your office. So if you're a two-site practice group, right, and you're sharing a server in one location, the second location that doesn't have the server, technically that office is accessing their practice management via the cloud. Now the cloud is hosted in office number one. So, when we're talking about physical architecture, a traditional box, a server, when you're thinking about it in your mind, that's really when we're talking about that traditional method, which is still almost 80% of the market. So if you're not cloud yet, don't worry, you are in the majority of dentists and dental practices out there. The biggest benefit a practice will see when they're moving to a cloud-based platform, and this is after the project, right? No one likes switching software. So let's say you get past that, is some consolidation of costs, right? In an on-prem scenario, you're much more reliant on an IT company like us. When you switch to something that is a native cloud-based software, they're including backups, and that's just IT. On the vendor side of things, maybe you have a third party for patient communication forms and reviews. All of that usually gets consolidated into a single subscription instead of you paying $300 a month for that, $500 a month for that. So it's a reduced cost all around. There's a lot of situations that makes a dental practice still want to keep a local server, local, physical hardware. The love of their practice management software, right? You can run a killer practice off of Open Dental or Dentrix Core or Eaglesoft. And some of these larger practices, right, it's just not in the stomach yet for them to go through a complete, let's call it a core operating system change when you switch practice management softwares. Your staff has to learn how to do everything over again. The workflows are different. You have to train everybody. You're going to lose production because your staff aren't as efficient. So there is a lot of hesitation to go to the cloud, not because it's the cloud, but really just think of it as a completely different platform. It's not a one-to-one conversion. The biggest concern a practice has when moving to the cloud is where their data is located. So you think about it now, let's say you're using Open Dental, Dentrix, Eaglesoft. That data, your patient health information, is sitting on a server right down the hall, 50 feet away. When you move to the cloud, you are completely losing control over that, right? So you're putting your faith and your trust in someone else to manage your patient health information. And let's say that company is not providing a really good service, right? Instead of just calling up another cloud company and saying, hey, I want to switch, now you have to go to them and request a copy of your data back. Once you go cloud, it makes the switching process really, really hard because they can only give you a one-time download of your data. When you have a physical server, right, you can remote Open Dental in there, they can access it, but then they can just remote back in and continue to refresh it as they go. They don't have to ask anybody's permission. So in essence, a loss of control is why most people have an issue. If you're a practice thinking about switching to the cloud, the first thing you should do is call your IT provider because there might be some things that the cloud sales guy went over on the call that make it seem really, really simple. So the first thing is to understand 3D won't go to the cloud. What does that look like? Is that data on a server? Well, that sales rep said I could get rid of the server, but actually I can't because that's where CBCT is. Have the calls, evaluate the software, pick the one that works best for your practice. But before you sign on the dotted line, then go talk to your trusted IT provider to let you know kind of steps 1 through 5 on what you need to do to get ready, never to have a server again, and to migrate to the cloud without any data loss.